She screamed her bloody head off. So this is now known as Rat Boy.
Kitchen garden allotments.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Dan's Kitchen Garden Allotment. Just before this video starts, please go along and hit that subscribe button to help the channel grow, and also come along and join the family. Let's get this video started. So then guys, on Sunday, last Sunday, I released part 1 of getting the allotment ready for the growing season. So in that video you saw me we had a walk around the greenhouse. We also come up with the allotment, and we were doing a run of bean canes and getting them all up and ready to go. Part 2 will be out on this Sunday, Easter Sunday, so stay tuned for that. But today's video, what I thought I would do is have a walk around my brother's allotments. Yes, for them people who don't know, my brother has 2 allotments down here as well, and this year he's done quite a bit. It's just unfortunate I haven't been able to film very much because of the social distancing, the current restrictions that we've had over the past few months. But the government has lifted it, so it means that hopefully, my brother said he's going to pop down today, and I might be able to bump into him and meet up and even have a sneaky little coffee and a chat. So what I thought I'd do guys is have a look around his allotments and show you how he's getting on. But for them people who don't know, I've got some old videos backed up, and I'll chuck them in now just before we do an allotment tour. So let's go. My brother's plot. Sorry about the wind guys. When he got it back in October, it was completely up with weeds, but he's done quite a good job on it. He's just trying to get into the gardening. As you can see, he's there just doing the digging over. So this is Robert. You'll probably see him around on the channel here and there, doing bits and pieces. So then guys, don't worry about him in the background if he's doing weird things. We're just having a little giggle. But yesterday was Naked Garden Day. Unfortunately we didn't do it because we had a little bit too much chub on us.
I'm doing it now, baby.
As you can see, he's trying to do it. Yeah. So to them gardeners who did it, well done to you all. Unfortunately, maybe next year we can do it, but at the moment we're a little bit too fat. So then guys, we're down the allotment. You see that? Just helping out my brother. I'm going to help him clean his greenhouse out and get it ready for the summer. I haven't got too much to do up on my plot. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look, going to put this on time lapse. So then guys, I hope you enjoyed them clips of my brother and when we used to work down here, and at that time he only had 1 allotment. But now he has got 1 allotment over the back here, and we have got the main path going up to other allotments, and then he's got another allotment just here. So we're going to have a look around both of them and see what he's got on with. Talking of the which, he's actually just turned up. So let's have a look around his allotments. So then guys, this is my brother's first allotment plot. This is the very first one that he got, and you probably see in some of the videos that this is the one where he's messing around and doing bits and pieces. So let's have a look around this plot and see what he done. So as you see, from about 4 months ago he did have a massive compost mound here, which he has just completely cleared out and dug it and got rid of the old pallets around the side. So I'm not too sure what his plans are for these beds. I'll have to have a chat with him in a bit. I'll move up one side and then come up the other. This area here is just sieving out the rest of this compost and putting it into here. I believe he's going to put, to be honest with you, I'm not too sure what vegetables he's going to put in at the moment. As I said, we'll have to have a little conversation and see what he's going to put in. I'll move down. This is his strawberries. They're just starting to come up. I will zoom in a bit for you. Just starting to come up, so that'd be nice. Nice delicious strawberries. The only reason why I don't do strawberries is because I think they take up quite a bit of space for not long at all. Really, you only get a bloom of about 3 weeks or so. So I tend not to put strawberries in. I'll just come and nick his when I've got 5 minutes and he's not around. So then, as we move on, we've got some, I believe these are raspberry canes. They're just starting to come out in green as well. It's always nice this time of year to start seeing bits and pieces coming up. As you know, spring's definitely on the way. He's got a few more here. I'll just zoom in a little bit for you as well. Just one in the row of this length of this bed. This is where he is having fires. I think he's going to sort out this complete bed this week and do a few bits and pieces and dig it all over on this bed. My brother rotivates his allotment, so this year he's just started to rotivate it, so he's given it a good dig, and as you see on the other allotment, he's done quite well on it as well. This is the other compost mound that he's just getting through. He's only just told me that he's got a greenhouse, a new greenhouse coming 6 foot by 8 foot, and I believe that's where he's going to put it, because this small one is not big enough for what he wants to do. So let's go and have a look in the greenhouse to see what he's got in the greenhouse. So wow, he's definitely got seeds coming up and bits and pieces coming up. Let's have a look to see what he's got. Some form of cucumber by the looks of it. Some cabbages. They look like tomatoes. Let me just grab the label because he put it the wrong way. They look like tomatoes. Yes, they are. They're tomatoes. He's got some Brussels sprouts there. He's got some beetroot at the back. Some swede. This is some cabbages. We've got some leek just there. So his is far more advanced than what mine are. Mine are just starting to come up, but he is on top of it. Lettuces. This end one looks like it's either leeks or onions. Let's have a look. Leeks salad. So he seems to be growing quite a bit, doing quite a bit. As you can see, his is up and going. So hopefully his growing season is going to be good. As I've said in the previous videos, I don't normally put my seeds out until a little bit later due to cold weather that we can have sometimes in early April. It might be hot now, nice and warm, but we can still tend to have some cold weather. So let's have a look down the other side of his allotments. So then, as I start off in this bed, this was originally for carrots, but he's decided to do some flowers in it, and we've got some tulips coming up. And as you can see, they've got a nice bulb just starting now. He's got some other different bits and pieces, but we'll have to follow them along. And he's got his daffs on there. This was one of his compost bins he's recently brought. I'm not too sure what they're like, but I will have a discussion with him very shortly to see what he thinks and what they're like too. He's got some garlic growing in here. Might need a little bit of feed, just starting to go a little bit brown leafed. As I'll move you in, I can show you. might need just a little bit of feed, but he's gonna have some garlic. And these are some of his fruit trees. I'm not too sure of what fruit trees these are. I would have to have a look. I believe a couple of them are berry, and might even be a gooseberry tree there. His raspberry, another raspberries. I think he loves raspberries. He's got quite a few of them. And then his rhubarb. His rhubarb is almost ready for a picking by the looks of it, so he's got quite a bit out. As I said, he's got another clear bed here. So what he's done with the horse muck, he brought a truckload, and it's meant to be about 9-month-old horse muck, so it should be okay to go straight onto your ground. As you can see, it's got a lot of wood chip in, so it would break up a lot of the clumps, and it also hold moisture in as well. So I'll just move down a little bit more, and this is just another bed that he's cleared. He's quite lucky on this plot because he's got a water tank right at the end of his plot. So what we're going to do now is jump over to plot 2 and see what he's got to do on plot 2. So this is my brother's second allotment. As you can see, he's put the horse muck on the top at the moment, and as he works back planting it up, he'll just he'll just dig it in, and or might even rotivate it in as well. So he's planted his first earlies of his potatoes. He's done 1 row. There's no label, so I don't know what he's done, but he's done his first early potatoes. And as he moves down, he's got this frame here. I believe that's so he can grow some more raspberries up. He loves his raspberries. Pardon? Are these for raspberries, aren't they? Yeah, and what was your first early potatoes you planted in? Maybe Charlotte, he thinks. But as you can see, he's got this netted cage here, and this was very surprising. Everyone else would have probably thought, yeah, you brought that offline, you done that offline. But he actually made it out of an old trampoline that his kids never used anymore. And he's fully netted it, and it is brilliant for brassicas and stuff like that. This was another little clever idea he had, was these little arches. You know, you can buy them quite cheaply from Wilkinson's, and what he's going to do is grow his runner beans up and over these arches this year. So it's another fantastic way of maybe using height to have a growing allotments. Sorry about the drill if he's drilling away at the moment. He's currently making a new compost bin. As you can see, he's working away. He picked up some of these pallets from his local place, and he's just trying to make a second compost bin. So Rob, what fruit trees are these along here? Can you?
We've got 2 green apples, 1 red apple.
There are 2 green apples and 1 red apple. And you were telling me about the price difference between buying. You bought these from Tesco,
And 1 from Homebase.
and the prices between Tesco's and Homebase are completely.
The dough.
How much were they going off at Homebase?
This one here, 23 quid.
1 minute, let me just. So that on there was what? Sorry.
23 quid.
Yeah.
Same variety as the other one.
Yeah.
It may be a little bit about a foot taller than the other one. And the other one was 2 for a tenner.
So basically, the first one was
23 quid.
23 quid, and the 2 here
Those 2
he brought from Tesco for a tenner. And by the looks of it, these have actually got more growth starting. They've got green, and you're going to keep them into like a dwarf tree, aren't you? You're going to cut the tops. because at the allotment we only have a 6 foot allowed limit of any form of trees we are allowed down here. So he's also got his pond in. The sun ain't out yet, but that little thing's putting in a bit of air in as well. So as we move away from the pond, you're going to keep this as like a wild flower area, aren't you? He's going to put like complete flower section in this. And if you have the space, guys, it's always good to have flowers in at the allotment because of it attracts the wildlife, and also having the pond. Having the pond, it also attracts frogs, and eventually you will not need to use slug pellet. But as he moves out, this is where he's quite lucky. Look at this water tank he's got. He works for a local school down the road, and they were getting rid of this and he picked it up for the allotment. I'm not too sure how many litre this is. He said it's about 450 litre, and it's also got like a little tap posit on the side so you can connect a hose up to it too. So it's it was, as he was said, it was brand new. School hadn't used it, they were chucking it in the skip, and he actually stuck it on top of his missus' car and she drove it down here as well. So the shed come from his mother-in-law's. When he got it, it was all falling apart and it wasn't in good condition. But as you see, he's given it a good paint and he's laid new felt on it. As I just move around to the side, he's got a little blind up there. He likes the windows this way so he can keep an eye on other people having plots and things like that, make sure they're working. And security. And this is his little seating area eventually that he's going to have from his shed. I'll just move over to his other compost bin where he actually had a flying rat, and I'll tell you about that in a second. And as you can see, the daffodils are up again. So then, guys, as I was saying about the flying rat, he was turning over the compost, he was digging it all in, he was changing it around. And unfortunately, I know this is true because I was sitting probably about 10-15 feet away from him. This rat decided to run up his spade, and it was running up, and his first reaction was to fling it up in the air. And as he flinged it up in the air, how tall would you say that? How high do you reckon that rat went?
25, 30 foot maybe?
About 25 foot up in the air. No word lie, had his balls using it as like a parachute to get it down to the ground safely. And then it landed just over on this plot. Just over by the green here. This lady with the blue shed was actually standing there, and she see the rat and she screamed her bloody head off. So this is now known as Rat Boy. So then, as Rat Boy is putting together his compost bin, we're going to have a few comments in the comment section below, I think, about using the blue pallets. But what he's going to do is eventually cover the blue pallets with plastic and that, so it won't actually taint. It won't be tainted with any of the compost that he puts in there, so that's absolutely fine. So this one, he's done quite a bit. He's got a metal cage on the bottom of it, and this was his plan. So it seems like this year, Rob, is actually going to be your first proper year up and running and knowing most of what you need to do and stuff like that.
A couple more different projects going to eventually come up.
Right, so you're going to make your own fertilisers and you're going to do a couple other projects. So it'll be quite interesting, especially now the lockdown's been restricted now and we can mix. So it's quite interesting that we can come up here and work on each other's plots and see how each other are doing over the year. So then, guys, as I look around my brother's allotments, as most of you will know now as Ratman. So I hope you all enjoyed that video. We will be able to stay up to date, hopefully, if Mr. Boris don't put any more restrictions in. So at the moment we can visit each other on each other's plots, as 2 households can mix now, and I actually think you can mix up to 6 now. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're watching this video and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and make sure the bell notification is switched on at all times. Until the next video guys, catch you later.